Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tatiana and I love to help you get out of your own way to go for the life that you desire, whatever that looks like. Over here on this channel, I definitely talk a lot about entrepreneurship, but it also is really important to make sure that we as women take care of ourselves and we do things that we love. And so self-care, self-love is a very big piece of who I am and my message and everything that I like to share. And so I am in my kitchen today because I wanted to share with you all one of many of my smoothie recipes that I love to make. And the smoothie thing is just something I wanted to quickly just do like a little story time on, because back in April of 2022, I decided that I wanted to start just kind of taking control of my health and doing it in a way that was tangible and easy and something that I already was enjoying. And smoothies is one of those things for me. And also my daughter is in the background too, so there's that. Because it's morning, we're actually getting ready to have our breakfast and get started with our school day and stuff, but I wanted to just take a moment to share this with you all because I was getting ready to make it and I'm like, I really wanted to start bringing this type of content to my channel because I have this INSPIRE acronym, and one of the letters in the acronym is nourish, N and inspire. And I love to nourish my body in different ways, and definitely healthy smoothies is one of those. And so just as a quick story time, back in November of 2021, I found out that I had a high A1C level, and diabetes doesn't necessarily run in my family, but my great-grandfather had it, and so it kind of freaked me out a little bit, and I went through a period of basically denial, and so for months, I just really didn't know what to do, and so I ended up coming across this nutritionist online. Her name is Jessica Spears or Spires, I don't know. She's on YouTube, she's also on Instagram, and she was sharing a lot of different things, and so that was kind of where I started to really get interested in the smoothie. She was making these different smoothies and things, and she does a lot of stuff, but that was specifically what I kind of gravitated towards first from her. And so she would do these different smoothies, and so I tried a couple of them because she had it on her YouTube channel. She had some free recipes, and there was like these two smoothies that I was obsessed with. And so this was around April of 2022. And so from there, I took it and I ran with it. I kind of kept like the core ones that she had that I absolutely loved, and then I started to experiment and started kind of coming up with some of my own recipes, and I've really just been enjoying it. My daughter loves to drink them with me, and it's just a great way to start the day off. I don't necessarily drink them every day, but I would say at least 3 to 5 times a week I try to make one because it just makes me feel good. Like I said, it's a form of self-care for me, and it makes me feel good, and they're yummy. And so anyway, I went through all of that just to say that I wanted to share with you all one of the recipes. It is fall now. We are getting into the thing, and I have been using this wellness journal on and off since the summertime, and I decided it would be kind of cute and fun to write some of my smoothie recipes in here. And so I actually wrote down the ingredients for the one we're going to do today. It's this cute little peachy peace smoothie, so I'm going to try to name them just based off of like my INSPIRE acronym. Peace is one of those. And so yeah, the peachy peace smoothie is the one that I'm going to show you how to make today. Super easy. And so I'm gonna get out the ingredients, and then we're gonna make it really fast. We're gonna make our breakfast, and then we're gonna get on with our day. But I just wanted to share this as some encouragement to you. Also, if you are on any type of wellness journey, if you're just trying to feel better, get in shape, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to build muscle, like whatever your health and wellness goals may be, sometimes it might just be simply for just a mental health break. I know like going on walks for me does that. It is truly a self-care. It is truly a self-care piece that I didn't really realize was self-care. I actually was talking to a friend about it, and she kind of framed it that way, and I was like, oh wow, I guess it kind of is. So anyway, I want to share a little bit of my self-care with you all, and I encourage you to find things that make you feel good and that are good for you, because you know, we only got this one body. We want to take care of it. And so as we've been moving, and I've been trying to get back into a healthy routine. I started eating really bad when we moved here, and I'm like, okay, Q4, I want to get back to it. I want to start taking care of myself. I've been doing my smoothies, but I want to start doing them a little more regularly than I was. I kind of fallen into doing them like once or twice a week, and so now I'm trying to get back to that 3 to 5 times a week that I was doing. So I'm gonna grab the ingredients, and then I will show you all what is included in the smoothie. Okay, now before we get into this, I do have to just point out, of course, I am not a nutrition expert by any means. All of the things that I learn and that I do are just for my own research, just for my own benefit, you know? And so I just want to share it, but I also want to encourage you to definitely do your research to find out like what ingredients and things work best for you and whatever situation it is, you know, whether you're trying to get more energy, trying to balance your hormones, or just different things. For me, I just want to have, you know, some greens of some sorts. I always usually will have some spinach or kale in my smoothie, just because I like to add that in there. So, you know, just in case I don't really get as many vegetables, I have that, as well as just some clean almond milk. I always like to do that, or I'll do coconut water. That's typically the two liquids that I use in my smoothies, pretty much for all of them. There's always some kind of frozen fruit. Actually, let me get the bananas. I have some bananas that I froze that I'm pulling out. And then, yeah, so this is basically the recipe. I kind of do this stuff by just looking at it with my eye, but I'm gonna try to put some measurements for you just in case. But I have, for this, we're gonna do around a cup of frozen peaches. So let me get that together. And then I just have, and you can see it back there, that is my smoothie maker. It is the Ninja. I had the NutriBullet for a long time, and then it kind of like crapped out on me, so now I'm using the Ninja, and I really like it. So I'm going to be using this bigger one. So I'm going to do about a cup of the peaches. So I have my peaches in here. It's about a cup or so. And then I'm also going to add half of a frozen banana. And this is actually from a friend of mine. I really want to try to get her to come on here at some point. We'll see how I can make it happen. But my friend Cher, she is a nutritionist, and we recently connected after I moved. And she has an amazing channel and a podcast. So I'll definitely link her stuff below. But we were talking, and I was telling her about like the A1C stuff and bananas, and I wasn't really sure. And she was like, well, just use like a piece of the banana. Don't use the whole one. So I was doing an entire banana in every smoothie. You know, you learn as you go. But now I do about a half to a third of a banana, but depending on how big the banana is, just to cut down on some of the sugar, you know, to kind of like, so I don't have that spike in the morning. And it's been helping a lot. I got some spinach here. Just gonna rinse some of it off. And I just like to do like a small handful of it. And then I actually wrote down, so if I had Greek yogurt, I would use Greek yogurt because I like to add something filling to the smoothie. So I always will either do like a protein powder or Greek yogurt, or I'll do oats. I don't have any of the protein powder or the Greek yogurt, so I'm going to use some oats, and they tend to fill me up. And I'm gonna do about a fourth a cup, so I am gonna measure that out. Some more, we're running low. But yeah, I'm gonna just fill that up. Okay, so I'm gonna put a few of these things away. Okay, so then just some last things. For this, I kind of just eyeball it based off of how much I have in here. But the almond milk, I said clean almond milk because you really don't want almond milk with a whole bunch of extra ingredients. You really only need almonds, water, and some of them will have salt, which I think this one does have salt. Let me see. Yes, and salt. You don't need anything else. So milk, M-A-L-K, that is another clean brand that I'll get. And there's another one, I think it's from Elmhurst. Any of those I would recommend as far as clean. If it has more than 2 to 3 ingredients, I'm gonna say no. I also make my own almond milk sometimes as well, which is also very easy to do. So I'm just shaking this up. And yeah, like if you can see, I mean, it's literally just 3 ingredients in here. There's not a whole lot happening. So I really like this. And this one is Califia Farms. And I've been finding that this one is a lot easier to find. But I'm starting to see now that milk will actually have some in like some other types of stores. Because before I could only find it in like 1 or 2 stores. But now I'm seeing it in just regular grocery stores, which is kind of cool. Like Publix has it. So I'm eyeballing this. I'm going to do, in this particular cup, I'm filling it up to 8 ounces. But on the recipe, I think I put like a cup. But it really depends on how thick or how runny you want your smoothie to be. That's gonna be a preference, I feel like. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of vanilla extract. I'm just gonna pour a little bit in the top. Pour that in there. And this is just to add a little bit of sweetness to it, but not, or more just like a good taste, basically. So I just added a couple, almost drops. I guess I would say it's about a half a teaspoon. a little less than that. And then I love me some cinnamon, y'all. I love me some cinnamon. I have these cute little, when we first moved to our last house, I bought these glass jars and did all the little labels. It's one of my favorite things. It just adds a little fun to the cooking experience. But I want to pour a ton of cinnamon because I love cinnamon, like, so much. Like, I probably add a little bit too much to my stuff, but I'm just obsessed. So I'll definitely be sharing like just a lot of different drinks and things. That is my thing. I love to do teas and just all kind of fun stuff. So if you like those kind of things, definitely stick around because more will be coming. So this is what it's looking like. I think I am going to go ahead and see how this does. I can always add more liquid later, I feel like. So don't add too much. You can always add more, but you want to add, I would say, at least fill it up halfway to where your stuff is within the whatever you're making it in. But again, it depends. Everybody's preferences are different. Whether you want like a runny one, you want it to be super thick. Sometimes if I'm making a smoothie bowl, then I'll definitely even add more ice to it so that it could be thicker for the bowl consistency. So it just really depends on what you're doing. Alrighty, so this is done and the consistency is perfect for me. It's not too thick, you know. I like to just be able to drink mine through a straw, so I usually don't mind if it's a little bit on the thinner side, honestly. Just not like milk consistency, you know, but I do like it to have a little thickness, but nothing crazy. Hey! Okay, so let's do a little quick test and then I'm gonna put the top on, put my straw on, and then that's gonna be it. But let me see. Smells good. Ooh, that's good. It's very subtle. I think I definitely could have added maybe like a couple more peaches. It just depends on how much of the peachy flavor you want. One of the things I've learned from making these smoothies is you can really make it different every time, because I rarely actually look at a recipe. Like, I always just kind of eyeball stuff. And so I probably could have added a couple more peaches and still really could if I wanted to. You know, actually, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna add a few more peaches and then I think it will be perfect. Verdict is that this is really good. Really good. So I think, to me, I mean, it depends. I probably would do more like a cup and a half of peaches for myself, but for someone else it might be like, you know, it just depends. So I encourage you, you know, like whenever you're doing any type of drinks of any kind, even like when I'll show some like my hot beverages and stuff that I make in other videos, everything I do is always just by taste, and then I'll add, or I'll be like, okay, next time I won't add as much of this, or whatever the case is. But it's the same with the smoothies. And so the more you do it, you start to get into it and you start to figure out like what you like and don't like. Like, I prefer a little bit more of the peach, but somebody else might be like, no, I'm good. Some people may want more banana. You may want more vanilla extract, right? You might want less oats. So just kind of go into it with a grain of salt. That my recipe is kind of like a starting point, but you can always add to it. So I will have the recipe down below. I also will have it on my blog as well, so you can check it out. But I appreciate you all tuning in and checking out this. Like I said, I absolutely am obsessed with just taking care of yourselves, but specifically just like what we put into our bodies. And so I will be talking about more of that over here on this channel. So if you're here for it, definitely make sure you subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.
And goodbye.
Bye.